Lesson 21, hands-on equations. Take a look at that. 2 star plus 3 equals a negative 6 plus x. Wow, we've got stuff everywhere. In the last lesson, we only had one type of pond in there. Now we have two types. So let's do this. I've got 2 of the opposite of x's and a positive 3 on this side. And I have a negative 6 and a positive x on this side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy these and paste them down so that way you can see what steps I'm doing each time as I go through that. So there's my original problem. Now if I go ahead and clone that, what I can do is, the typical rule is you want to deal with the ponds first and then the numbers second. Or we can deal with the numbers first and the ponds second. But it's sometimes, in most cases, it's easier to deal with the ponds first. Now, I've got 2 stars and I've got a single pond. I can move them either direction. Doesn't matter which direction I move them. But since I only have to get rid of one x on the right-hand side, that'd be the easier one to get rid of. And the way to get rid of an x is to have an x and a star, or an opposite of x, come in together. So I first brought those 2 in. Now I can eliminate an x from both sides. So I can drop that below the line, drop it off my bar. So now I have this new equation here in which the x's on the bottom are gone. Okay, so now I'm dealing with that. Now I want to, since I've got the 3 stars, the 3 opposite of x's with the 3, I need to get rid of that 3. To get rid of that 3 is if I had a couple of negative 3's, one to go on both sides. So by doing that, I eliminate these 2 3's. And I'm left with 3 stars equaling 9. Well, that would mean that the star has to be 3. And that the x would have to be a negative 3. So when I go to check this, I go back up to that beginning. I've got a 3 plus a 3. Scratch that. I got a mistake again. I love it when I make mistakes. The greens are negative numbers, aren't they? I have star is a negative 3, which would mean x is a positive 3. Greens are negative numbers. Got to remember that. So I got negative 3 plus negative 3. Those are my 2 stars there, plus a 3. And on the other side, I got a negative 6 plus a 3. Well, here I have a negative 6 plus a 3. And here I have a negative 6 plus a 3. That gives me a negative 3 on both sides. Those are equal. That works out. So x is 3 and the opposite of x is negative 3. Or star is negative 3 and x is 3. So let's take a look at a different problem. This one's a little bit different. I have star minus 2 equals 6 plus x. Star opposite of x minus 2. How about to minus 2, I have to have both of these come on, and then I can take the 2 off. And then that's going to equal a 6 and an x. There we go. Okay. Now in this case here, this is a lot like back in level 2 where we had variables and numbers on both sides, and we wanted to move the smaller number side. So I got the 2 on this side and the 6 on this side. Well, that's simple to see that this 6 could actually be written as a 4 and a 2. I said I was going to clone things for you. Let me clone this. Okay, I'm going to slide that down there. I'm going to move that over. I'm going to get rid of these 2. Okay, that's like that 6. I'm going to get rid of that 6. Boom, gone. Gone. Okay, there we go. So I cloned it. So since I have the 6 and the 2, the 6 is the bigger value, so I'm going to move the 2's so I can take them off of both sides. So now I've got down to this. So this is the new problem I want to clone and deal with. Okay, so now that I got that, I've got a star by itself, and I've got an x with the -4, which means I want to get rid of the x. Well, now there's two ways to do that. I could add 0 and add an x and a star. Oops, kind of got lost on that slide down. I could put both of those over here as one option. Option 2 is just to go ahead and add a star and a star, one on both sides. In this case, I'm going to go this way. I have no reason why. I just chose to go that way. So these two eliminate each other, and I'm left with 2 stars equaling a -4. So star equals -2, or opposite of x. X equals +2. So now if I go back to my original problem, I got a -2, subtract 2, and I've got 6 plus 2. Oh, I messed up this problem all the way from the beginning. That should have been a +6. Scratch it. This is a mess-up problem. Life is great. I'm going to redo this problem because I messed it all the way up from the beginning. Delete all that. No good. So, first step was still right. We had star. We had to subtract 2 from both sides. So we're going to get rid of that 2. Now we have star and -2 and 6 and x. So now we've got a decision to make. We can move the variable parts, the pawns, first, or we can move the numbers. It doesn't matter which way we go. Typically, we want to move the pawns first. And like we said last time, we have 2 ways of doing it. One option is to add a 0, which is an x and a star, to whichever side we want to deal with. The other is I can add 2 of the same things. I think this time I want to solve for the x instead of the star, if you don't mind. So that means I'm going to throw it this way. I'm going to put an x on both sides. Add an x to both sides. Got an x on both sides. So now over here, these two cancel off. Boom, boom, they're gone. All right. Get out of here. So now I have that as a problem. So now I can go ahead and clone this. So this is a simpler problem. Why did those get 2? Okay. You're gone. Got to keep track of where I was at. Oh, I need to have that and that sitting down here underneath the line. That's where that happened to be at. Okay, there we go. Got her set back up. I apologize for how bad this one is turning out. This video might get redone. If I do it, great. If not, no big deal. So now I got this. Now, how am I going to figure out what the x is? I got to get rid of that 6. To get rid of that 6, I need to give its buddy the -6 on there. So now these two drop off, and I have 2 x's equaling -8. So x must be -4, which makes star, or the opposite of x, a +4. So let's go back to the original problem. Star at 4, I got to subtract 2. On the other side, I got 6 plus -4. 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 plus -4 is 2. 2 equals 2. So x does equal -4, and star equals +4.